Hello students, welcome to this class of MA Final Paper 4th, that is Indian Writing in English. I am Dr. S.S. Vedwan, and today dear students will discuss a beautiful poem, a poem that represents the reality of the world today, uh, and the title of this poem is A Monsoon Day Fable, and the poet is our own famous poet Jayant Mahapatra. So in this particular poem, dear students, Jayant Mahapatra, he exposes the different situations and the different, you can say, the voices which he witnessed and which he says these are the harsh realities of the world today. Before we proceed with the poem, let us talk about Jayant Mahapatra. He was born on 22nd October 1928, an Indian English poet. The first Indian poet, Mahapatra is the first Indian poet to win a Sahitya Akademi Award in 1981 for English poetry. He was awarded a Padma Shri in 2009. He returned the award in 2015 to protest against rising intolerance in India. He also received the Kanhaiyalal Sethia Award for Poetry in 2017 in Jaipur Literature Festival, and he also was awarded the RL Poetry Lifetime Achievement Award for Poetry in 2013 in Hyderabad. He was born in a prominent Oriya Christian family. Mahapatra, he went to Stewart School in Cuttack, Odisha. He completed his MSc in Physics from Patna University, Bihar. So a very well educated uh, poet who had studied science. Mahapatra, along with A.K. Ramanujan and R. Parthasarathi, laid the foundations of the Indian English poetry. So he is one of the uh, pillars of Indian English poetry. He began his teaching career as a lecturer in physics in 1949 and taught at various government colleges in Odisha. He superannuated, that is, he retired at the Rawanshah College, Cuttack, now Rawanshah University, and he retired from his government job as the reader in physics in 1986. He began his writing career in the 60s, in the 1960s. His short stories and poems were initially not admired very much. Mahapatra has authored 27 books of poems, of which 7 are in Oriya and the rest in English. So we can say that he is a bilingual poet who has also composed poetry in Oriya, and bulk of his poems are in English. His literary corpus includes relationship, bare face, and shadow space. His prose books are Green Gardener, an anthology of short stories, and Door of Paper, essay and memoirs. A distinguished editor he is, and he has been bringing out the literary magazine Chandrabhaga. So, a very active face uh, this person is. Now, let us talk about this poem, Monsoon Day Fable. This poem, it appeared in the poetry volume Life Science in 1983. The poem, it is a 5 stanza poem, dear students, and Mahapatra raised some questions in this poem, in this fable, rather we can say in this fable. He raises the question of poverty, the harsh realities of today's world. Then he talks about the terrorism in Punjab. the pitiable condition of the poor woman and the trade of prostitutions, the plight of prostitutes, cows being taken to slaughterhouse, that is the problem, the current problem being faced in India, free movement of murderers and rapists. He questions all these. So the poem, in this particular poem, he raises very much questions. He has raised some questions. So we can say that this collection is this particular poem, A Monsoon Day Fable, is really a fable. So let us discuss what a fable is. Let us talk about the title. A fable is a fictional story in which the poet, he has raised certain questions, but here it is not a fictional story, it is based on realities. And monsoon, dear students, you know monsoon is rainy season, always welcome in India, and this season, this monsoon season, is also a season of love, of couple relationship, and it also brings flood, it also brings misery, it also brings disease. So this particular poem, A Monsoon Day Fable, here Mahapatra, he raises certain questions, and he has, presented to us these questions through some stories. The pitiable condition of women, the governing bodies, the members who are in government, then the slaughterhouse, then he portrays the terrorism in Punjab. He describes poverty, pitiable conditions, the harsh realities of this world. So let us now talk about more with the poem. A Monsoon Day Fable, I quote, this is a quote from the great M.K. Nayak. A Monsoon Day Fable deals with the pitiable condition of the women who take to prostitution because of poverty. The poem also underlines the cruelty meted out to the innocent animals who are ruthlessly led to slaughterhouses to be butchered for meat. I feel the silence of a woman's secret whiteness, where her petticoat, loose and undone, lies open, sorrowfully, as though after an act of love. This is the quote from the poem. Mahapatra also feels for the emaciated cows herded towards the municipal house to be ruthlessly slaughtered. The collapse of law and order is further stressed in the poem. Mourning Signs, which mentions in no uncertain terms how rapists and killers go scot-free having committed the crime. So this is what M.K. Nayak has observed in this particular poem, A Monsoon Day Fable. So dear students, as I told you, the fable at the beginning of the monsoon echoes alone like a bell ringing in a temple far from home. So this is how the morning starts. A monsoon day morning starts with the ringing of the temple bell. The furrows of earth that turned year after year do not change shape or color. Is it music? This immortality? First question. So please keep on noting the question marks, the questions which he has raised. The first story is the beginning of the plight of farmers. Their routine works, how these farmers, they toil hard in their fields, but their fate doesn't change. The shape of color doesn't change, he says. Here, the furrows have been personified. The farmer's plight, their silence. Nobody care about the farmers. Farmer is mocked by all. But nobody cares about his problems. He produces crops, feeds crores of people, but he is his condition is very pitiable. Crouching silence that takes cover inside a lump of shadow. Now again, a, new story is introduced, and that of a young girl, and crouching silence that takes over inside a lump of shadow, simply mocking man. Again, a question mark. Suddenly, the face of the girl I cannot have appears before me. So he now refers to a girl, the face of a girl, that is the tune of latest hit songs, resumes and start interrupting in the silence of woman, the plight of young woman. And the tune of the latest hit song interrupts itself, then resumes in my head. I think of visiting the afternoon movie, hoping to see the aging dancer who lives by herself across the street. I feel the silence of a woman's secret whiteness, where her petticoat, loose and undone, lies open sorrowfully as though after an act of love. So he presents a pitiable condition, how these prostitutes they are treated, and how, you know, uh, they are internally very sad. Nobody cares about their feeling. They are uh, used, and how man satisfies his hunger for that lump of skin. And now he says that this condition is very sorrowful, very pitiable. It is not an act of love, rather, it is an act of exploitation. I feel the silence of the ugly, squint eyed girl as she paces the street between the taunting buildings. Now, this refers to an incident where a squint eyed girl, she was raped, and how she went to her house and nobody came to her help. All this adds up to a silence, the meaning of which I cannot reach. So he says that all these incidents I have witnessed, but there is nothing that come to help. I cannot reach. Or was it a destiny, a fable, a scent of the same rain on the earth? Now he says all this is happening in this beautiful season of monsoon, which is a season of love, which is a season of fertility, which is a season of new crops. But in society, all such things are happening. Or the pull of a loose muscle in the dancer's startled leg. Now he says that this is again a plight which is presented to us, how a dancer is startled and how the dancer's fate is met, and how the rapes they occur in broad day light and nobody feels about them, nobody cares about them. The rape of this squint-eyed girl by the priest's son, and this is a real uh, situation presented by him. And then the rape, the same girl was raped by police. So it is a horrible picture of crime committed by the so-called high society, the priest, and by the police, who is there to safeguard the public, to safeguard the woman. But the same law-abiding agency is committing the crime. This is a horrible picture of crime uh, and rapes which is presented by the poet in this country. The poet says that I feel the silence. This silence should be broken. Somebody should come to help, but this is not happening in the country. The society is very passive. The society is not very active. The buildings are personified as powerful men, mocking and taunting. The poet, he says that I am searching for the harsh reality. What is the harsh reality? The harsh reality is who will come to rescue. And he says that my comments, they might hurt the sentiments of some so-called higher society people. But this is what the reality is. Then he talks about the dancing girl. Then he talks about the city of Cuttack. The Cuttack down herds the emaciated cows toward the municipal slaughterhouse. This is all happening in the morning with the ringing of temple bells. How the herds of cows, they are being driven to the municipal slaughterhouse, their feet slipping, their eyes following the vague light into silence. So their eyes are very dim and they are being taken to the slaughterhouse because they are now useless. They are now useless and the eyes of the cows see the dim light of dawn. It is all happening at the dawn. Everything is wet. Wet as though with glue. They haunt me through the nights, perhaps equipped with designs to show man his true nature, perhaps like the eyes of Einstein. For me to deny the thought that I am in a sort of exile. He says that everything is wet due to monsoon. All these images, they haunt the poet. And he says that the butcher, equipped with his instruments, that is, the knife and all the instruments to slaughter the cow. This shows man's cruel nature. In India, we say that cow is a holy animal. The Hindus, they worship it. But see the plight of the cows. It says, I am like an excommunicate of this society. Is here you might have noticed this figure of is. He says that I am like an excommunicate of this society. I am unhappy. This is how he represents his unhappiness by writing in the brackets and says that these mowing voices of the cows, they are unbearable. The reference also is to the great scientist Einstein. He says he had never dreamt of all these things happening in the learned society, the educated, very well educated society. And but this is a harsh reality. This is all happening. For me to deny the thought that I am in a sort of exile. So he says that it seems that I am not part of this society because I am presenting these harsh realities. My observation is limited to the process of my falling, and neither the law of falling bodies, the murders, nor the general theory of relativity. Still the wing, the day stands like a mature prime minister, but 1,000 thoughts away, 1,000 voices above the level of mournful lowing in my room. Here the representation is to the how these newspapers, the morning newspapers, they brought the news of the murder of Indira Gandhi, how she was uh, shot by her own bodyguards, because the bodyguards, they had that they were misled by some people. The reference here is to the terrorism in Punjab, and how the morning newspapers, they exaggerate the facts. thousand voices about the level of mournful lowing in my room. I pick up the morning newspaper. That morning newspaper is full of all this rubbish, all this. This is not rubbish. This is all realities. And see how a nation goes on insulting herself with its own web of rhetoric. And remember how some of us poets had participated at the Silver Jubilee celebrations of the Sahitya Akademi in New Delhi. Now he again questions his own fraternity. He says that some of our own learned members of the people, poets, the people of literary world, they go to these marvelous parties of prize distribution arranged by these academies, like Sahitya Akademi, the references to Sahitya Akademi in New Delhi, and how certain poets they celebrate the plagiarized smiles. He says, and with plagiarized smiles and abstract talk, convinced ourselves that in harmony there was no deception. It seems so strange looking at one another and finding ourselves go into the distance of our eyes. Even my wife does not look as if she belonged to me. Now, this is all personal. It says that this is how our perception of looking at society has changed, and even the spittle I swallow every hour has nothing perhaps to do with me, like that unreachable girl. The girl is here personified who leads me to a dim corner of my conscience. Alone, alone, I look at her as though I do not understand the heart dry in the midst of all this wetness. He says the season is monsoon season, it is rainy season, but the hearts of the society, the hearts of the responsible citizens of this society is very much dry. And that is why in this country, the rapists and the murderers, they go scot-free using their muscle power, using their money power, and the criminals, they are set free by those who are supposed to enforce the law. At dawn, again the reference is to dawn, the early morning. At dawn, when rain scratches against my skin, I hear again that familiar beat which did nothing but merely quicken for someone's presence, and I hear the silence of today. In a song of dead refrains, a lonely halo of earth that gazes aimlessly about the footprints of someone going home. So the poem ends at this note, and in this poem, he says that in this poem, we should celebrate love in monsoon season, as done by most of the poets. But Mahapatra, he doesn't celebrate the monsoon season as a love season, but he says that monsoon is not a season of love anymore. He presents his thoughts through some stories, incidents, and that is why the poem is entitled A Monsoon Day Fable. The incidents, dear students, presented by the poet, they are not fictional. Although the title is A Monsoon Day Fable, but this is not a fable. They are the harsh realities of the world. And these harsh realities, dear students, they are true. And the educated men, the educated people of the society, the responsible people of the society, they need to raise their voice against the atrocities which are being committed to the young girl, to the women, the plight of farmers, the plight of prostitutes, and the problem of terrorism, violence, and intolerance happening in this country. So in this particular poem, Mahapatra, he has presented the cruel nature of man. And he says also, I am also responsible for this because I am so learned, I am so educated. But I think I am also responsible because I am raising my voice against these atrocities. So be with me and let us fight this crime, and let us not just show off that we are learned people. Dear students, I hope you have understood the poem. We'll talk about another poem in the next video. Thank you very much.